Hey everybody!
Welcome to me time!
That's really good. Can we try it again?
Welcome to me time!
Hey everybody, I'm TJ and today we're going to talk about action figures. And I couldn't think of a better guest to have on than my favorite person in the whole wide world. Tell everybody your name.
My name is Tristan Sula.
That's right. Jixing is my daughter and we enjoy all sorts of Nintendo things together, from the video games to the amiibo figures back there and of course the figures themselves. I collected some when I was a kid. There were not a whole lot of Nintendo toys. You got lucky if every few years they had some kind of partnership with McDonald's or Burger King and you could pick up some 4-figure set.
And then Daddy got toys and me got toys. And Daddy is having my toys and I'm having Daddy toys.
We share. So even though some of these toys can resell pretty high prices as collector's pieces on eBay or other aftermarket places, I like to play with them.
That's why we share, because we love each other.
We love each other. And so my daughter and my 1.5-year-old son like to play with them. And sometimes there's a little bit of collateral damage. But when these things were created, they were made to be played with.
And sometimes fans throw toys on my head, Luigi, and Daddy gives me some treats.
Yeah. Failing threw Luigi at you and hit you in the head. It was like point blank range. I tried to intercept, but I'm not gonna lie, my son has kind of like Herculean arm strength, so he threw it and bonked her in the head. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna compare the figures that I picked up as a kid from a few different random toy companies with the toys that are being released today from the World of Nintendo series from Jakks Pacific.
And then Daddy and Luigi and Fayan will not throw Luigi on my head or ever again.
Yeah, I told him to never throw toys at her again. We're definitely going to be expressing some opinions about these figures, so let's cross our T's and dot our J's.
The views and opinions expressed here are ours alone and do not necessarily reflect those of this channel or its affiliates.
And we reserve the right to alter them at any time if it's convenient or because we feel like it. So, take this.
The main man himself, Mario, has been donning red since the very beginning, and I have 2 Mario figures that you can see right here. This one is the first one that I owned. Well, not the first. I had a few random Happy Meal toys.
This one is mine.
And that one's Jixing's. This one comes from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
And that one is Daddy's.
And then this one is from a line of very short-shipped and
this one is from Super Mario Maker.
he is all over Super Mario Maker, you're right. These ones from Mario Kart 64, and it was a 2-wave series, I want to say, with 3 in each wave, and then it was subsequently followed up by a Diddy Kong racing set.
Daddy did not have the Chic toy, even mine, but Daddy got his amiibo Chic toy.
Yeah, no Chic toy for me, unfortunately, but I do have the amiibo Chic. So these ones all came with cars, like this. And you'd strap them in their seatbelt, and they had adjustable steering wheels, and you can drive them around. But they also have all these mufflers on the back that, I guess, it's not broken per se, it's just dislodged. My boy likes to pull them all out, and because they are a choking hazard, I pre-pulled out a lot of them in advance so that it wouldn't happen while he was playing with them. So it's not really broken, it's just forcefully disassembled. Let's describe it that way. Let's put her Jakks Pacific Mario right next to my Mario. You can see there is a little bit of a height difference. Mario comes in at, I would guess, about 4 inches. He's from the 4-inch line, and my Mario is a little bit shorter than that.
And then let's put my Luigi next to your Luigi.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Luigis. This Luigi's from that same Mario Kart set, and then this Luigi's also the Jakks Pacific. He's definitely taller than 4 inches, whereas my Mario and my Luigi are more or less of a height. Luigi, yeah, pretty much exactly the same height. You're standing back to back.
And now let's put And those are, we got the same silicons. Daddy's silicon mouth is open and my silicon is closed.
That's a really good
Wow.
observation. So can we hold it close so people can see? Of all the figures, Diddy is probably the most similar. This is the Jakks Pacific one, and this is the one from my Diddy Kong Racing set. You can see that he does not have Nintendo written on the top of his hat, and as my daughter said, his mouth is open. And also, the Jakks Pacific has black eyes with a highlight on them, and this Diddy Kong has blue eyes with a highlight. They also have the same star pattern, although this Diddy Kong has a second one. What do you want to show him next?
Let's put my Wario next to your Wario.
All right. So Wario, there's a huge difference because my Wario is a lot bigger than the Mario and the Luigi, but not near as big as the Jakks Pacific Wario. This is one area where I really think Jakks Pacific killed it. This Wario is amazing. This Wario looks like he's a little bit off model, but it's certainly the first Wario figure that I've ever seen. If there was one that predated it, I never saw it. So it was cool to have a Wario figure, and he did fit into his cart, so he has a more heightened articulation than this guy, whose legs don't move at all. You could rotate his feet a little bit, but that's about the extent of it. And his arms have a very limited range of motion, whereas this one's arms can completely helicopter all the way around because he needs to be able to fit into that cart. Their faces are really good, I feel like, from Jakks Pacific.
And my Nintendo toys are plastic too, and Daddy's Nintendo toys are plastic. It's in mine.
That's right. Both of them are plastic. And the other thing is, for those of you guys who are interested, this Wario has a slight swell in his Piku, whereas this one has a distinct crack, so it's a little bit grosser.
Mouth, and he will be hurt, and he will choke them.
Yeah, so we don't let my little son play with any of the small toys because we don't want him to choke, right?
Right.
But you're a big girl, so you know not to put little things in your mouth, right?
Can Fayon have them too when he's a grown-up, please?
Yes, when Fang's a grown-up, he can play with them too. High five.
Mm.
What toy should we look at next? You want to do Yoshi?
And then my Yoshi and Daddy's Yoshi is plastic, and they got bumps on their shells.
They do have bumps on their
And
shells.
then I got the Yoshi costume.
You do have a Yoshi costume, and her Yoshi costume is super cute. She's worn it, and the dog's worn it, and it is precious. This Yoshi has some strange points of articulation. He rotates right here. Again, he's from the Super Mario 64 line.
Yoshi really weird when I wear Yoshi costume with my yarn green Yoshi.
We love playing Yoshi's Woolly World together. It's one of the first games where she was really connecting her intention to the game and was specifically doing something. In fact, remember that time when Daddy was trying to progress through the level and I kept saying, "Come on, Jixing," but you were resisting me and you wouldn't go forward, and then I lost my patience and I said, "Jixing, come on, let's go." And you said, "Wait, Daddy, we have to go this way and get the key." Do you remember that? She was being so patient, just constantly resisting me running to the left of the screen, and I was getting a little bit annoyed because I was trying to move forward and progress through the level, but she's just letting me be obstinate and try to move forward. But the fact was I was going the wrong way, and she knew that it was one of the levels where you had to get a key before you could go on, and she remembered the layout, and you did a really good job. You got us through that level. You're the Yoshi Woolly World master. These, the feet, even though my figure of Yoshi is a lot shorter, the feet are a lot bigger.
And Daddy's Yoshi shoes is big.
So the model of Yoshi hasn't changed a whole lot over the years.
Now our bodies is white, and Daddy's bodies is white. His Yoshi's and my Yoshi's, and we got white cheeks. And Daddy too, and I got a big mouth, and Daddy got a small mouth.
Let's see, what figure do you want to do next? How about Bowser?
Sure. And my Bowser is big, and Daddy's Bowser is quite small, and we can fight Bowser, and we can do fire.
I'm getting burned.
Then, and I'm the big bad wolf to cool down this fire.
We have to blow to cool down the fire. Let's take a close look at these two Bowser figures. This one comes from the Mario Kart line, and you can see there's a lot of differences between these two Bowsers. This was back in the time when Bowser's skin took on more of an orangey shade on the body, and only his muzzle and his chest favored a yellowish tone. And he doesn't even have much of a tail here, which is not surprising given that most of that tail would be
Daddy?
on the chair, of the seat of the car. And Bowser scale is something that's been played with from game to game. It really depends on what the purposes of it are. He's usually a heavyweight and he's usually a bigger guy, but sometimes he's only a little bit larger than Mario in scale in like Super Mario World. It would be a good example, or any of the Super Mario games. But then once you start getting in like Super Mario 64, he's huge. He's enormous. Mario has to swing him by just his tail. And so I really like the scale of this Jakks specific one. That he is so much larger than the other figures is really kind of awesome. Whereas this one is of a size to those other figures. He's bigger, but only a little bit. Can we do Donkey Kong next?
Mine is big, and mine is half a knees, and Daddy's got knees too. And my Donkey Kong butt is kind of small. And
I actually think the Donkey Kong figure from my set is one of the best figures that they made, and it's probably my favorite one. The model might not be exactly on. It looks a little bit stretched to me, but the texture and the highlights on the fur are really good.
strong.
Donkey Kong is strong, and the expression is kind of what I picture when I think of Donkey Kong. He doesn't have any prominent teeth, even though we know Donkey Kong has teeth. Perhaps from this expression, you just happen not to be able to see them. Whereas the Jakks Pacific one,
And then Sam threw another hard toy on my head, and I cried, okay?
oh no.
And then this was a block.
It was a block? Was it one of those Super Mario blocks? He's hit me in the face with those a few times. He's a throwing boy, a wild throwing boy. This Donkey Kong, I like the scale.
I block my head from staying on my arms so he cannot make me cry on those blocks on my head.
Do you block it with your ninja? Show everybody your ninja that you used to block. Whoa, that was good. One of the things that really bugged me about the Jakks Pacific Donkey Kong right away was how loose his joints are. Look at this. He's super floppy. He's like a rag doll, and good luck trying to get him to stand. I don't know if this is the problem that everybody had. Mine's not as floppy as yours is. Mine will stand up, but yours, you have to really kind of trick into balancing.
Floppy, Daddy. See?
He does have some articulation, actually really good articulation. You can move his arms and his knees and his ankles and his wrists. Pretty much all the same things of this Donkey Kong with the exception of the torso articulation point. But I don't think the torso articulation point really does enough for this figure. Maybe if it helped to shift his balance one way or the other, but because he just falls easily one way or the other, it winds up just being a nuisance. And he does not have any articulation at the knee joint, so you can't extend his legs in any way. And that makes...
And that Donkey Kong is not full because his is, and Daddy's is small, and mine is big, and mine is falling, and Daddy's is not.
That's right. Can I do Daddy's? So one of the things that you notice real quick from this figure is that being able to bend his knee not only allows him to be able to sit in his chair, which is what he was originally made of, the car seat rather, but it allows you to be able to achieve some poses and stances that are a little bit more flexible, I guess, so you could have a lot more play with them, and toys are meant to be played with. Is Link next?
Daddy's Link is dark green, and my Link is light green.
Okay, let's take a look at the first Link figure that I got was this figure, and it came in a 3-pack if you pre-ordered Ocarina of Time.
It's mine.
This is the first figure that Jakks Pacific released, And while the figure itself is okay, it's based on the Skyward Sword Link, it is really out of scale with the rest of the figures. So you've got a figure like Mario, who we can tell from any games where Mario and Link appear at the same time, like Smash Brothers, that Mario should be shorter than Link. But here, Mario is actually a little bit taller than Link, and their proportions just don't really seem to match up that well. So I'm not too crazy about that, and I know why the decision was made, because Jakks said that they're trying to balance affordability with a quality product, and maybe in a vacuum that would be okay, but when you have these other toys that it's meant to interact with. So these Links are about the same size, only I think the model of the face of mine is the only...
And those Links and that Link shoot this off, and you can put it back on, or take this shield off.
Oh, you can't take that shield off. I glued that one on. One of the criticisms that I have with the Jakks figure is the shield is too small to fit the arm in. I actually had to break it. I cut it so that I could fit the arm through here, and then I re-glued it on. And that's messed up. How can you have a shield that's meant to be put over the arm when you can't even fit it over the arm? And the face is okay. And this one looks a little bit closer to how he actually looked in the game to me. So I think of every Link figure I've seen, this is the only one that even has a remotely acceptable face sculpt. I don't know what it is that makes it so difficult to nail Link's face. He doesn't really have too many difficult lines on it. Actually, the amiibo are great.
Baby Zelda fall down Daddy's table, and Daddy made her stand up.
That's right, Baby Zelda fell. What did you drop? Was it Daddy's shield? Oh, she dropped the Hylian shield. That's okay. Let's take a look at another Link figure. This is the Ocarina of Time from the Jakks Pacific collection.
Or you can not take this shield off, or you can make this sword out, and you can put it in.
So it has a removable sword that does fit into the scabbard. Mine does not. The scabbard is just molded. It doesn't actually fit the sword. But this is the exact same figure as the other one, only it's scaled larger. But the smaller one, I think, is a little bit better. For some reason, it seems like the details are a little bit tighter. There's more muscular definition on the legs. You can see the knee joint and the separation of the quadricep, whereas this one is more of kind of just like a tube. So even though the face is pretty similar and the position is the same, you can tell it was just an upscaled model. But the little one is a little bit tighter in its final production, I think. And the Jakks Pacific one, let's show this one up close, sweet girl.
I got 3 of them.
You do. I think his face is completely messed up. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a difference of opinion, but I hate it. I think it's super creepy, weird looking, awkward Link.
I do not hate it, but you and Daddy hate it, and it's really creepy. And this was creepy for Daddy, and his head moves.
His head does move. Can we show his head to everybody? And the other thing is he's got these weird bow legs, and they're like bowed in. No matter how even though he has all these points of articulation, they don't really seem to allow you to change them in such a way as it doesn't make him look like he constantly needs to go make shishi.
So, we already did Yoshi, though.
We did already do Yoshi. So it boasts a lot of points of articulation, but they're kind of a waste, because it does not really enhance your ability to pose him.
We got finished Donkey Kong too.
We did. So how about we do Zelda? You've been really excited to do Zelda, huh?
I was doing baby one.
Okay. So even though Jakks Pacific has released a Zelda figure, and I pre-ordered it months ago.
And Sheik becomes to Zelda, and Zelda becomes to Sheik.
That's right. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played Ocarina of Time. My daughter just revealed the secret. Do. Even though I pre-ordered Jakks Pacific Zelda months ago, the release schedule of these is so messed up. So it's impossible to know when you're going to get anything. It's worse than Amiibo were at Amiibo's worst point. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I have 15 Toys R Us's within driving distance of me, and I've still never seen most of these figures in the store. I bought them all offline. I wouldn't even know they existed if it wasn't for the internet.
Got purple hair and her arms smooth.
So this Zelda is part of the 3-pack that came with the Link and the Ganondorf.
Arms move too, and her body does not move, and her does not move, and so she got little hair is long, so she got a dress. So those two, and that one is small, and that one is quite bigger. And this one got a crown, and this one got no baby ears, and she got a bag, and she got this just like the bigger Zelda, but those do not move because those move.
6.5 hours later.
And now that's a small one with blue sleeve, and that one got no sleeve, just army.
Just long gloves. This Link is from a very short release of figures
And that
with
Link is shell, and you can take this shirt out of his hand, or take the shoe off his hand, or put it back in his hand. You can put the shoe back in his hand, or you cannot because it's hard.
You want Daddy to help you?
And then Daddy will help us, and I will do this all by myself.
Okay, she can do the sword by herself. This is the Wind Waker Link from Jakks Pacific. The sculpt of it is pretty good. My biggest criticism, again, is the face. And I don't know that this is consistent with the entire line or if it's just our particular one, but it looks like the eyes are too close together and at the wrong angle. And then probably the worst faced figure of Link that I've seen is this one from a series, a 3-figure set of mounted characters. So this Link was obviously molded specifically with the purposes of being able to be mounted on a horse.
And here.
So he has these little holes right there that allow him to stick to the horse itself. And there is a considerable amount of rotation achievable by these legs so that you can get the angle that you want to make them look appropriate on the horse. But what is going on with that goofy goober face? I just don't get it. His cheeks are way too puffy and his eyes are a little bit cross-eyed. And I just don't know why it is so hard to sculpt that little elf boy's face.
Put it back in his hand, but
Should I help you?
Daddy can help now. And then Link fight Bowser.
So Jishin, get your Ganondorf figure. This is the Ganondorf from the 3-pack of Link, Zelda, and
this is the Ganondorf.
Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf.
And then Daddy gives it to me with a big present.
And just like there was an upscaled version of this with Link, there was also an upscaled version of Ganondorf. And I think both of these figures are amazing. I love them. They're pretty basic in their articulation. They have a little bit of flex in the hip joint.
And his legs move
It's okay.
around, and
It's a ball and socket joint, as you just saw. Pops right back on.
And he runs.
And the arms rotate, just like that. Both these figures are exactly the same in their articulation. Maybe the ability to bend the knee would have been nice, but I'm okay with it not being like that. This Jakks Pacific Ganondorf from Wind Waker has only 2 points of articulation. Well, 3, I guess, if you count his head, which rotates 3/4 in either direction.
And then this bestows free diamonds.
Are you giving Ganon a hug? Does he need love?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Ganon wouldn't be so evil if he just got a hug?
Mm-hmm. Ah, he's evil.
He's evil?
Yeah.
Oh no, what should we do? So they went with a pretty basic stance with this Ganondorf. And the only real thing that it boasts, it's a decent sculpt, but it is scale. It's big, and that's cool. So when you look at it in comparison to the Link, they have a pretty good size difference, but it is not an action figure. It is a statue. It's a standing figure. It does not do anything. They could have done a really fantastic looking figure like...
So Daddy did not have the Waluigi dressed like me, and he did not have a dress like me on your red game, and then Daddy's for you and he hasn't when it come out.
That's right. If you saw the GameStop exclusive figure that came if you pre-ordered Wind Waker HD, you got this little statuette that was amazing. It's the same as the Smash Brothers trophy that is of Toon Ganondorf, where he's holding both swords, Wind Waker Ganondorf, and it looks awesome. It looks super awesome. He's got dual wielding blades with these long little tassels on the end. That's cool. This is pretty basic.
Fight this Bowser because this horse is big enough to do 70.
Oh, the horse got Bowser. Whoa!
And he can do like this.
Can we show your Peach figure?
Hold on, I'm still doing your horse. And he can stand. See? He can hop with one leg. And this horse can really run when their legs are down.
Let's take a look at the Jakks Pacific Peach figure. I do not have a Peach figure from my collection because they never made one, and there's some things about this Peach that are really great. There are some things that are so peculiar I cannot even believe they did it. This is actually the second Peach figure that we've purchased because they made a head that can swivel, but hair that cannot go in front of the shoulders. So essentially, they created a recipe for destruction. So I super glued her head after it broke off a million times.
And she got pink shoulders behind her dress, and when I move her head, this blows.
That's right. It's a serious design flaw.
I broke Rose Gold Peach head, and Daddy have to fix it for me with glue.
I customized the broken Peach into a rose gold Peach because that's one of her favorite ones from Mario Kart. But the desire to want to turn a point of articulation is strong. So you'd think that early in the process of testing this toy...
Hey, I'm talking now, and I draw my Peach all over, and Daddy have to make her rose gold Peach, and my rose gold Peach is broken, and this parasite is too. One for Peach and one for Rose Gold Peach.
One of my favorite things about Nintendo is how it allows me to share the things that I love with my kids, and I enjoy playing the games and playing with the toys, and it's something that we get to share together. Do you like playing video games with Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like playing toys with Daddy?
You want to play Nintendo toys with me now?
Now? You want to play?
Yeah.
Should we say goodbye to everybody so that we can play Nintendo toys?
Bye, everybody. Come back soon.
Thanks for watching and sharing this me time with me and my daughter here, and we'll see you again real soon. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing. Ready.
We are sweaty? Why are we sweaty?
Because we are working so hard.
We're working so hard?
Mhm.